are the Bhaalspawn, lord of murder, and the mark you have carved upon the realms shall never fade.
The adventure Murder in Baldur's Gate, released in 2013 as part of Wizards of the Coast's D&D Next, gave players the opportunity to playtest 5th edition, but also it was an opportunity to play through a number of adventures set during the Second Sundering, an important event in Forgotten Realms history that restored many gods and also saw those gods withdraw much of their influence from Toril, the planet upon which Baldur's Gate is set. If you're aware of the Baldur's Gate novels, then you might be pleased to know that the only remaining bit of canon from them seems to be the name of the protagonist, the famous car name Abdel Adrian.
Time for a bit of the rough and tumble.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
You can't live without a little adventure.
Murder in Baldur's Gate has the following to say about Abdel. Adrian's life as an adventurer became notorious when he saved Baldur's Gate from the Iron Throne's machinations, and killed his half-brother Sarevok to avert a war with Arm. Afterwards, Adrian fought countless battles against people seeking to use his Bhaalspawn blood for nefarious purposes. Baldurians know little of these adventures, and few people alive today comprehend the meaning of Adrian's status as a Bhaalspawn. Murder in Baldur's Gate is set in 1482 DR, that's 10 years before Baldur's Gate 3 and 120 years after the events of the original games, so Abdel is well over 100 years old, and this is justified in the adventure by the divine blood that runs through his veins. Adrian made Baldur's Gate his home after his adventuring days and joined the Flaming Fist as a private, moving up the ranks until Grand Duke Valarkan attempted a coup and killed the then Marshal of the Flaming Fist, who was also a Duke. Once Valarkan was dealt with and the coup quashed, Abdel himself became Marshal of the Flaming Fist and a Duke of the city. However, the adventure describes this as more of a burden to the Bhaalspawn, who only begrudgingly accepted when the public pleaded with him to take the position. The clip at the start of the video showed the end of one of the choices in the finale of Throne of Bhaal. There were 3 in total, 2 where you could ascend to divinity, either taking up the mantle of the Lord of Murder, or by striking out a new path as a power for good. The third option was to return to your mortal life, and it is this one that was the canon choice for Abdel. Let's take a look at what it says in Murder in Baldur's Gate. Few know of Bhaal's plan in these events. Among those who do, many believe that the plot collapsed forever when Adrian slew Bhaal's last High Priestess, and denied acceptance of the accumulated power of Bhaal, instead choosing for himself a mortal life. Those who believe that fable are fools. The Lord of Murder is in darkness, but he waits only for 2 victims, the last victims, to reclaim his throne of blood. The way I interpret this is that the events of Throne of Bhaal did happen, but not completely as we know it. Perhaps Abdel could have used the accumulated essence to become a deity in his own right, but it seemingly wouldn't have affected Bhaal. Murder in Baldur's Gate makes out that his return was, in a way, inevitable. Note that if you have Imoen in your party after defeating Imoen in the game, then you will have the following interaction.
Only one other spawn of the dead god remains, the sibling who fought at your side. Her portion of the essence is not large, but she must make a choice.
This implies that you and Imoen are literally the last Bhaalspawn. If you have Sarevok in your party during the ultimate moments of Throne of Bhaal, the Solar doesn't ask him the same questions, but that is because he explains his lack of essence near to the start of the game when he is resurrected. To actually resurrect Bhaal as he was, it appears that some kind of rites needed to be performed by his priests. Look at this interaction between Imoen and Bhaal. One of his priesthood needed to have access to the essence that would be collected from the Bhaalspawn. One of his priesthood would have to perform the necessary rites to give the dead Lord of Murder back that essence. Again, this differs to Murder in Baldur's Gate, where Bhaal's return is sort of more automatic. Whilst Abdel Adrian is giving a speech to the people of Baldur's Gate, he is accosted by another Bhaalspawn called Vikang. When either Vikang or Adrian dies, the survivor makes an involuntary, bone-crackling, flesh-tearing transformation as Bhaal's essence concentrates into one being. The victor morphs into the hulking, blood-soaked, corpse-like form of the Bhaalspawn Slayer. The Bhaalspawn Slayer fights to the death. The heroes can't know it at this point, but the Bhaalspawn Slayer's death resurrects Bhaal. The god's long slumber and the many years that Adrian's good soul encased him has left the Lord of Murder weak. The adventure actually leaves it completely open-ended on who died first in the battle, so either Vikang or Adrian transformed into the Slayer. This partly harks back to a theme in Baldur's Gate 1, where Sarevok is warned that he won't be able to control Bhaal's essence, and that it would not be Sarevok to ascend, but instead the original Bhaal.
You are indeed family. No other could have lived to oppose me in person. Of course, it will not matter in the end. Ultimately, I will prevail, and a new era will be born unto the realms. The streets will run red with blood when my work is finished. Face me! Face the new Lord of Murder!
We actually come across Vikang twice in the original series, once in Vitari's pub in Trademeet and the other in Saradush in the Tankard Tree.
Hi, friend.
So, after the deaths of Vikang and Abdel Adrian, it seems to be that all of the Bhaalspawn are finally dead. This must also include Imoen. Of course, Sarevok still endured, but as we saw previously, he no longer counts. However, his ending in Throne of Bhaal is interesting. Let's take a look. He acted like a man that did not know himself, and all the stories agreed that Sarevok was a tortured soul, balancing between life and death, never to achieve either. Eventually he disappeared, said to have assaulted the abyss itself, or even take his own life. In truth, he journeyed to Karatur to bury his one true love, the warrior Tamoko. He never returned, though the stories endure. How long did these stories endure? Is he still balancing between life and death? Interesting questions, and ones which Larian might be able to answer, although perhaps to bring him back another time may be pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable.
Only the strongest shall prevail.
Anyway, the final point I'd like to talk about are the children of Bhaalspawn. Could they still count in any kind of godly inheritance? Well, I highly doubt it after what happened in Murder in Baldur's Gate, and it would be a severe flaw in Bhaal's plan to return if literally even the children of Bhaalspawn had to die for him to be resurrected. The cycle would likely never end. We met one of these grandchildren of Bhaal in the game, Draconis, the son of the Bhaalspawn Abazigal. And there is no implication of him being in the running, but he does kind of speak as if when his own father ascends, the murder portfolio will be his birthright. Let's take a look. So this question of Bhaal's grandchildren has been ongoing ever since the game came out, and I found a humorous post from 2005 on Sorcerer's Place where one user proposed the following, taking it to its extreme. Not just grandchildren, what about the great nieces, the second cousins 3 times removed?
Fear me, for I am the nephew of Bhaal.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then do please give me a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!